Ahoy, everyone, and welcome back to another broadcast of Jay Saki Talks movies, or whatever the heck I feel like talking about. So I watched another new movie. I Walked with a Zombie, 1943 horror film. Yeah, I heard about this one because I watched the documentary series, or I think it's just a very long documentary, A Personal Journey with Martin Scorsese through American movies, and he just prattles off all these older movies that I'd never seen. And one movie he mentioned was I Walked with a Zombie. And I'm like, I'm gonna write that one down and check it out later, see if it's worth anything. Yeah, that, and I'm trying to just research old black and white horror films because, truth be told, I have not seen a lot of them. I've seen some, but not a lot. So, this movie, I Walked with a Zombie, it's about some lady who gets hired as a nurse for some rich British guy living on a Caribbean island, running some sugar plantation or something. And she's being hired as a nurse to look after this guy's wife. Oh yeah, this guy's played by Vincent Price, but I'll get back to that in a bit. Yeah, she gets to the island and she finds out the guy's wife is a zombie essentially. His wife is a catatonic or whatever. She's emotionless. She walks around but doesn't stare people in the eye. She has no feeling or emotion. They basically just keep her alive, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she's what you would call a zombie. Some kind of a mental illness. Something happened. We're still trying to figure it out. Oh yeah, and there's some people doing voodoo rituals on the beach at night. No relation to my wife at all. Yeah, huh." Hopefully that won't come up again. And then, of course, hijinks ensues between the zombie wife and the locals doing their voodoo rituals. Now, I have to say, people have things they're turned off by, things they don't like. For me, voodoo is one of them. It's one of those things that always rubs me badly. It makes me very uncomfortable. It's one thing when you got one of those movies that you watch in your house, and then it has to do with witchcraft or Satanism, and your parents are like, "What are you guys watching? Some satanic movie?" And you're like, "Oh no, mom and dad, it's completely contextual. The witches and Satanists are the villains. I swear this movie's very Christian." And contextually, it's fine. But voodoo, anytime you do the voodoo witchcraft, witch doctor stuff, it's no matter how you contextualize it, it's always just one of those things that just makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong anytime I open myself up to it, even when it's in fiction. It's like, oh, it's just one of those voodoo things. Got the beating drums like bum 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 bum, whatever, just. And then they get out the voodoo doll, stuff like that. Just it's always a more tough one for me to stomach every time. But yeah, then Vincent Price is in this movie and he plays the husband, and it's interesting. He doesn't even get top billing in this film. He's not even his name's not even on the poster, so I guess he wasn't a big deal back then. And I don't even know Vincent Price that well. I know he's always associated with older horror or mystery movies or something. And once in a while he crops up and say, "Oh yeah, that's Vincent Price." But if someone said, "Hey, what are the top 5 Vincent Price movies?" I would not know what to tell you. The Ten Commandments, yeah, he's in that. Yeah, so overall, I Walked with a Zombie. I, in spite of my reservations about all the voodoo and stuff that's on screen, I wasn't bored watching the movie. It was definitely an enticing little horror movie. So if, you know, Halloween's coming around, you're like, I want to watch something a bit scary, a bit creepy. Something that makes me feel like I shouldn't be watching it. Try Walked with a Zombie. I think you might get something out of it. Yeah, take care until next time.